Hallo iedereen, welkom bij mijn... Oh. Okay. Let's go play some... Overwatch. Battle.net. Why am I not getting any views? YouTube might be rigged. Yo! Kijker! Oh my god. They saved my life. Hello. Chat. Let's play some Overwatch. Maybe competitive, maybe not. We'll play some competitive Overwatch. Maybe I gotta have to warm up. Never mind, my only viewer just left. Yo, my #1 fan is still watching. So happy. Ik ga echt mijn best doen, speciaal voor jou Jasper, dat je kijkt. Ik heb de beste clips ooit van me. Nou is mijn grootste fan ook mijn grootste hater. Ik even laten jullie met deze zieke varken moeten spelen. Heb je niks te doen vandaag Jasper of zo? Hoe laat is het bij jou? Maybe I'll play some games with the viewers today, but not sure yet. Maybe I'll play some games with viewers today. Zugen. Ziek. Niet normaal. Abnormaal. W. I know that shit. Penetrate. Lekker. Gatsiba. Ziegen. Nom. Anus. I know that shit. It sounds like Dutch. I can speak Dutch, but it sounds like Dutch. I'm not sure though. Look, I'll show you how to play this shit. You just and then you BM, and then you BM while you heal. I'm gonna go back and grab him. Boom, and he's dead. I'm gonna BM. Heal. And behind. Teabag, teabag, teabag. And then we run. And we... Oh, we missed. And then we teabag, teabag. Oh. Now we heal. Might as well go back. Hook. Oh. Okay. Wait, wait, whoa, whoa, wait, 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 wait. Okay, we camp. We go here. We hook. We miss. We kill and we leave. We wait. He leaves. Oh, we hook. He kill. And we leave again. That's how we play Overwatch, man. Look, there's someone up here. I know. I can hear the footsie steps. Holy shit, man. Jasper F 3431. You're the only reason why I'm still streaming today. Whoa. Uh-huh. Wait, I died. So I'll be giving away a phone at the... if I get 1 like on this stream. Hey Jasper, waarom ga je weg? Okay guys, I was streaming my only view and he just left, so I might just stop streaming for the rest of the day. I might be done for. Mhm. Mhm. Ah 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 ah. Ah 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 ah. Ah ja ja. Kijk 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 kijk. Whoa. Mm.
Oh my god, you saved my life.
How do you use custom code?
Fortunately, we live in such
a self-centered capitalistic society, and it sucks because it trains us to prioritize work and money above all else, even friendships, even being there for other people. And then again, it creates a culture where people are like, oh, I don't want to bother them, they're probably busy.
This is Pokimane, one of the biggest streamers in the world. If you somehow don't know her, she's a Twitch and YouTube powerhouse who's been around for almost as long as live streaming itself, with an estimated net worth north of $6 million. What you're about to look at isn't some random clip taken out of context or a single bad take that went viral. This is a pattern that's been playing out for years, a long trail of contradictions between the image she presents publicly and the reality behind the scenes. When you zoom out, it starts to say less about one streamer and more about something much bigger: how massive influencer wealth quietly reshapes behavior, incentives, and authenticity, even for creators who built their brand on being relatable. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be covering the endless hypocrisies of Pokimane. To understand why people bought into Pokimane so hard, you have to rewind to the beginning. Long before brand deals, headlines, and leaked earnings spreadsheets, she built herself as the definition of approachable, the down-to-earth gamer girl, someone who felt normal in a space that, at the time, really wasn't. Early Twitch was a very different ecosystem. The platform was dominated by hardcore gaming communities, StarCraft streams, esports grinders, and personalities that leaned heavily into niche internet culture. There were far fewer women streaming back then, and even fewer who were able to break through into the mainstream. So when Pokimane showed up, playing games casually, chatting with viewers, and presenting herself as friendly and relatable, it stood out immediately. For a lot of people, she felt accessible in a way most streamers didn't.
How are you? Okay?
I'm sick of hell.
Wanneer de wereld verandert,
Oh, waarom lag ik zo?
meebeweegt. Een direct toegankelijke spaarrekening met tot wel 3,1% rente dagelijks uitbetaald.
God bless.
God bless.
Wow, thank you.
Now, let's be honest, a huge portion of that audience, both now and then, was absolutely parasocial. Some viewers were clearly projecting fantasies onto her and reading way more into the interactions than was healthy. But that part almost doesn't matter.
Waarom de
What
fuck lag
mattered
ik
was
zo
the
erg?
image being presented. The persona was someone humble, grateful, and grounded. Someone who just happened to be blowing up online. Pokimane leaned into that image consistently. Over time, she also adopted progressive politics and anti-corporate messaging that resonated strongly with her younger audience. She talked about fairness, ethics, and responsibility in the influencer space. And to be fair, this wasn't an act that suddenly appeared later. Even early on, she framed herself as socially conscious and values-driven. In that sense, her views haven't really shifted. What changed was her position. One of the biggest trust-building elements from that era was how she reacted to money. Old streams show her visibly shocked when someone donated a large amount. She would double-check, ask if they were serious, and sometimes even tell people that they didn't need to do that.
What the fuck?
Hey guys, hope you had a good New Year's in Maine, and I hope 2017 will be a great year. Glad to be a part of the Poke Squad.
Oh my god! What the heck?
Again, yes, a lot of those donors were likely emotionally attached viewers. That dynamic existed, but her reaction still came across as genuine. It looked like someone who wasn't used to that level of wealth and didn't take it for granted. Then there's the moment from December 2019 that really sums everything up. She's browsing Louis Vuitton, reacting live, when a viewer drops a $2,020 donation. At the time, people found it funny and endearing. The optics were perfect. A streamer shocked by a big donation while casually looking at luxury items. It felt ironic in a harmless way.
Oh, this is so cool that it moves. Their website is really good, I won't lie.
Because it's almost 2020.
You said it for me, dude! got a little bit of a oopsie. I got a little bit of a tear. Jeez Louise, what? That's a lot of money. Are you sure you want to give that much money?
Looking back, it hits differently. By that point, her financial reality was already far removed from the image. She had openly turned down a single sponsorship deal worth around $3 million, which quietly told everyone that money was no longer something she had to chase. Later on, the Twitch leak confirmed that she made around $1.5 million from Twitch alone between 2019 and 2021. That number didn't include donations, sponsorships, YouTube revenue, or business ventures, just platform payouts. By any reasonable standard, she was already deep into the top tier of internet wealth, and yet the persona barely shifted. The same wide-eyed reactions, the same framing herself as an average creator navigating success in real time, the same down-to-earth presentation that originally earned trust years earlier. That growing distance between perception and reality is the key point. Even back then, the money was flowing fast, while the image stayed frozen in a much earlier version of her career. And that gap is where every controversy that comes later really lives. In May of 2021, a tweet from Pokémon's alt account slipped through the cracks and ended up saying a lot more than it probably meant to. The tweet read, "Capitalism requires psychotic behavior." This was coming from Pokimane, someone whose entire rise is a case study in consumer capitalism working perfectly. She didn't stumble into wealth by accident. Her career was built on subscriptions, donations, sponsorships, ad revenue, brand partnerships, and platform algorithms designed to maximize profit. The same system she criticized is the reason she became a multi-millionaire in the first place, which made the tweet feel deeply disconnected from reality. That disconnect became even harder to ignore after interviews surfaced where she openly admitted, or at least jokingly alluded to, spending up to $100,000 a year on Starbucks and Uber Eats alone.
I'm kind of crazy to you, but for me, like, there really isn't a massive difference between even 200K and 300K. Because at the end of the month, like you have enough to splurge on yourself when you want to. You have enough to pay.
For Starbucks, yeah.
Dude,
That's $100,000 a year in itself.
That detail stuck with people because it highlighted just how far removed her lifestyle was from the average viewer she was supposedly speaking alongside. Criticizing capitalism hits differently when you are benefiting from its conveniences at an extreme level. The public reaction was predictable. People started pointing out that she is functionally a walking advertisement. Her streams promote platforms, products, and brands by default. Even her existence online generates value for corporations. Her wealth is not abstract. It comes directly from millions of viewers across the globe consuming her content, engaging with her image, and buying into the ecosystem surrounding her. I understand you can critique something you've benefited from, but you're practically the corporate favorite to place ads on, along with other family-friendly streamers, or used to push merchandise. So you're not just benefiting, you're in bed with it. Funny you say that, after you have been using capitalism to your advantage, ever since you started streaming, and making millions of dollars a year from sponsors, and different brands, and your merch, and YouTube videos, and all the subs and donations you get. But whatever. Despite this, Pokimane would try refuting the claims that she spent $100K a year on Uber Eats and Starbucks. Replying to a now deleted tweet from Scarce, she said, "I definitely don't spend anywhere near $100K a year on Starbucks, nor do I earn $80K per stream, nor do I own a mansion or any property. News is really slow, but there's a lot of clickbait headlines, and I really don't appreciate you spreading misinformation like this." At the time though, the situation was easy to brush off. Another tweet, another discourse cycle. She clarified,
Zo zacht, zo romig, dat maakt iedereen wild. Leer dan maar extra mild.
People argued, and the internet moved on. No lasting damage and no serious consequence. But looking back, this moment quietly laid the groundwork for everything that followed. It established a familiar rhythm. Say something that signals progressive awareness, get praised by fans who already agree, get called out by critics who point out the hypocrisy, let the conversation burn itself out, and repeat. Whether intentional or not, this pattern keeps attention on her without requiring content to fundamentally change. change. And that's where things get interesting. If you actually watch her streams, there isn't much spectacle. A lot of it is just casual chatting, reacting to videos, eating food, or filling time with her audience. The core appeal isn't innovation or production value, it's the persona, the friendly, relatable gamer girl that viewers feel connected to. Moments like the capitalism tweet add spice to that formula. They reinforce the idea that she's thoughtful, grounded, and on the side of everyday people, even when the reality doesn't line up. And while she may be the last person who needs to denounce capitalism, saying it anyway helps preserve the illusion that she's still just one of them. By November 2023, the gap between Pokémon's image and reality finally stopped being subtle. That's when she launched Minor Cookies, a snack brand that was supposed to be the next evolution of her ethical, thoughtful creator persona. On paper, it sounded harmless. A streamer launches cookies. Influencers do this kind of thing all the time. The problem was everything that came with it. The pricing alone raised eyebrows immediately. Minor Cookies were sold at $28 for a 4-pack. Each bag was about 4 ounces, which works out to be roughly $7 per bag. That already felt steep for cookies, but things escalated quickly once people started digging deeper. Internet users discovered that the cookies were nearly identical to Tootsie Midnight Mini Cookies, a product that had previously been sold at Costco for $9.99 per 14-ounce bag. When you break that down, the difference is hard to ignore. Minor Cookies were effectively a rebranded version of an existing product sold at dramatically higher prices. The markup landed somewhere around 247%. The only meaningful change was the addition of vitamin D3 and new packaging. That was it. Same base ingredients, same concept, but vastly different cost. This is where the controversy could have stayed focused on pricing and transparency. Instead, it blew up because of how Pokimane responded. At first, she would respond to people saying it was just a rebrand, saying, "The batch we're currently shipping were made 3 weeks ago. The cookies they are being compared to were also made by our manufacturer, Creation Foods, which specializes in healthy food. The compared cookies had 1 test batch sold before they were retired. Months later, we partnered with Creation Foods and fell in love with the flavor profile of the Midnight Cookie. We then decided to work together to refine and improve the formula, and we're really happy with the final product." When fans started questioning why the cookies were so expensive, she didn't explain sourcing costs or defend quality. She mocked them. She referred to critics as broke boys and idiots, openly laughing at the idea that people might find her product unaffordable.
4 bags. That's $7 a bag. I know math is hard. Like, if you're a broke boy, just say so.
That moment changed everything. This was a multi-millionaire publicly ridiculing her own audience, many of whom are young and working class, for not being able to afford influencer cookies, the same audience that helped fund her lifestyle through subscriptions, donations, and views. The optics were impossible to defend. The marketing around the product only made it worse. Pokimane claimed she had spent 2 years perfecting the recipe. That statement became hard to take seriously once the ingredient lists were compared side to side. The similarities were overwhelming to say the least. What was framed as a carefully crafted passion project looked far more like a licensing deal with a fresh coat of influencer branding. Then there was shipping. Customers had to spend at least $56 just to qualify for free shipping. That meant buying multiple packs of cookies at already inflated prices just to avoid additional fees. For many fans, the entire experience felt engineered to extract as much money as possible while pretending to be creator-friendly and community-focused. After the backlash grew too loud to ignore, Pokimane issued an apology. On the surface, it checked the usual boxes. She said she worded things poorly, she expressed regret, and she acknowledged that she could have handled it better. While what I said was 100% intended to be a joke, I see why it came off as insensitive, and I apologize for that. I also understand the current price of the cookies may be expensive for some, and promise we'll continue to consider pricing to keep Minor as affordable as possible. I also want to clarify that this was said towards one rude chatter. I did not at all intend for it to be a general statement or towards my community. The sincerity of that apology didn't last very long. Not long after, during a Black Friday sale, she joked on stream about how the sale was not for broke boys. The same language, the same dismissive tone. Any illusion that the apology represented real reflection disappeared instantly. It became clear that the apology was about damage control, not accountability.
How are the cookies going? Good. I don't know if you guys saw, but we're doing a promotion today.
Wij beloven dat verzekeren anders kan. Eerlijker, zonder gedoe en met een lage prijs. Sluit je ook aan voor eerlijke autoverzekering.
It is not a broke boys Black Friday sale. Okay. It is, if you buy a pack of 8 or 12, you get a free hat. It's a really cute hat. I have one. But yeah, in case anyone was interested.
She really loves calling people broke. Honestly, without her chat or anyone, she would be broke and struggling. She would not be where she is now if it wasn't for her chat. She's honestly a bad person, I don't care what anyone says. There's one last detail that really ties this whole thing together, and it's where Minor Cookies is today, which is nowhere. Trying to go to the website leads to a 404 error, and apparently it's been permanently shut down. No announcement, no explanation, no follow-up stream, no tweet thanking supporters or addressing what went wrong. At some point after the backlash, Minor Cookies just stopped existing. The website went down, social media went silent. The product vanished as if it was never supposed to be there in the first place. But this divide between creators and their audience isn't just a streaming problem, it's a business problem. The bigger you get, the harder it is to keep everything running smoothly. And that's where today's sponsor comes in. Big thanks to Odoo for sponsoring this segment. Odoo is an all-in-one management platform that brings everything together. Invoicing, accounting, project management, inventory, website creation, and more. All on a single platform. So in support. And you can unlock the full suite for less than 20 euros a month. Click the link below to try out Odoo today. For a brand that was supposedly 2 years in the making, the silence is incredibly loud. This wasn't framed as an experiment or a limited run. It was marketed as a serious business venture, one that fans were encouraged to support at premium prices. By April 2025, the contrast had become almost impossible to ignore. Pokimane was in Paris, and this time she wasn't hiding anything. She posted her own footage, TikToks, stream clips, casual vlogs. The kind of content that's meant to feel fun and aspirational, but ends up telling a much bigger story if you just let it play out. The clips show her bouncing between luxury stores like Louis Vuitton, Dior, and Chanel. And not just browsing either. She's discussing Lady Dior bags, weighing color options, sitting in quiet lounges, while staff bring things out like it's routine. This wasn't a special occasion to splurge, it was just another trip. And then, mid-trip, she goes live and starts talking about wealth disparity. On stream, Pokimane starts ranting about how bad wealth inequality is getting. She talks about how people hate the rich, how the gap keeps widening, how frustrating it all feels. It's the kind of speech you've heard 1,000 times online, but this time, it's happening while she's actively documenting luxury shopping